You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast from Apathetic Enthusiasm.
In this episode, we talk about pop music. We talk about the things that are happening in the world. It's Apathetic Enthusiasm. I wonder how long I could make this go if I just kept talking and waited for Brandon to. That's like your cue to me. If the music starts to fade out, it's like, all right, Travis, you've said enough.
Well, in this case, I didn't know if like you could hear the music, and so I was like, oh, maybe you can't hear the music.
Oh, I could hear it. And our listeners at home could probably hear it. We'll see. Leave a comment. Let us know. Could you hear it? You probably could. This is Apathetic Enthusiasm. Thanks for being here. My name is Travis.
I'm Brandon.
Yeah, and welcome to the Zip Front Hoodie Squad.
Yeah, Zip Front Hoodie Squad. Woo! Zip Front Hoodie Squad. Zip Front Hoodie Squad.
All right, good. It's recorded now. Not just a thing that we do before we record.
Yeah, that was behind the scenes, a little bit behind podcasting. Before we started recording, we made that joke, and we were like, "Oh, look at how cute we are." I wish we'd recorded that for our thumbnail, and now we have it.
It's done.
Now we have it.
Yeah. Welcome to Apathetic Enthusiasm, the show where we talk about everything going on. And if you want to be part of the conversation, you can join us on Facebook at facebook.com/Apathetic Enthusiasm Show. You can send us emails at apatheticenthusiasmshow@gmail.com. Go to the Instagram apathetic_enthusiasm or our website apatheticenthusiasm.com. If you want video versions of the show, go to youtube.com/Apathetic Enthusiasm. Get this show as well as many more. And then finally, if you want to support the show, you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/Apathetic Enthusiasm. Throw some money in there. Happy holidays, something like that. I don't know. Holidays are quickly approaching, Brandon. We are less than 2 weeks away from the big ones.
And so it's time for our Apathetic Enthusiasm presents What Gifts Should You Buy Your Family?
Yeah.
2025.
Dragon Shield sleeves. Put them on your trading cards. Available
spoons
in Rick and Morty flavored.
Spoons. Or the Essential Songwriters Rhyming Dictionary.
Not again, twice in a row. I actually do I do have Christmas gifts like within reach.
3D printed Terminator 2 head.
Yeah.
Somebody bought that for me actually. For
half
Christmas.
Arnold, half T-1000.
Yep.
Or is he the T-100?
Which is
he the 1000?
That's a T-800.
T-800.
That's a
silly
T-800, yeah. Cyberdyne Systems Model T-800.
Speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, did Bob Carroll send you a text today? The initial sponsor of Apathetic Enthusiasm, Bob Carroll. Did he send you a text today about one of his Facebook memories?
He may have, but
you don't check your text from Bob.
I was accused of earlier, not accused, but Chelsea's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Because I didn't respond to any texts. What I'm not good at responding to texts. I'm getting worse at responding to texts. And then like the iOS update just came out with like the liquid glass stuff, and like I'm like summarize notifications, but then I look at my screen and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to press that button down there. It just says like 64 notifications. I'm like I don't want it. I don't.
No, that's too many. You just handle that, Siri. You could do it. Well, Bob sent.
Thanks for summarizing shit for me. I'm not gonna read any of it anymore.
Bob sent me a link to one of his 10-year-old Facebook posts about him and his son. Him introducing his son to the movie The Running Man, and then we had a long back and forth in the comments of that, talking about The Running Man, the Arnold Schwarzenegger version, in the comments, because we had recently talked about on this podcast how I hadn't seen The Running Man. And he gave me a hard time, and then Bob gave me a hard time because he loves that movie. Now here we are. and there's a new
Here
version
we are.
that's out that
10
I
years
haven't
10
seen,
years
and
later,
I'm not going
man.
to talk about.
No, it's pretty good. So let's talk about that real quick.
The Running Man?
Yeah,
Didn't we already
no,
talk about it?
we did. Yeah,
Yeah, we already did.
we did. We did.
We
We did.
already did.
We did talk about it. It was fun. It was fun. It was
All right.
fun. Fun. And
Well,
exciting.
I was so prepared for this show, like we always are. But like today is a bit of a somber day. I woke up this morning and open up my phone, check the notifications as one does. I also listen to like a little news summary podcast every morning on my way to work, and I heard the really
Wait, don't tell me.
it's
Not
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 wait, don't
don't.
tell me, but it is on NPR.
Yeah.
Up first. Not a sponsor, but if you want to support your local PBS station, or you could do that. Anyway, yes. The news came out today that Hollywood superstar, really like legend, Rob Reiner, unfortunately passed away over the weekend. As details come out, it looks like it's like a homicide investigation. Really sad and depressing stuff. And which is crazy because
Did they find his son yet? I knew his son
he
was
was
on the
arrested. He was arrested on I believe homicide charges. So
run.
yeah. Rob Reiner and his wife both found dead in their home on Sunday, I believe is when that happened. But yeah,
Knife
it's
wound.
yeah, it's grisly stuff. It's really unfortunate. And I was sitting in my living room this weekend considering watching the new Spinal Tap movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, should I?" Cuz my daughter through her cancer treatment has had to get a lot of spinal taps. And so we joke about that movie a lot, and I don't think she's seen the original one. So I'm like, "Well, I should have her watch the original, like This Is Spinal Tap, and then we could watch the new one." And so like I was thinking about that already, and then this news came out, and I was like, "Well, geez, that's terrible." But on my way home, I was listening to public radio as as it happens, and they were talking about the news, and then talking about the legacy of Rob Reiner and the films that he's done, the films that he's worked on. And as they're talking about some of these movies, I was like, holy crap, like he's made some amazing films. Like he really has made some classic movies. So I just thought, let's maybe pick a couple movies from the
Sure.
filmography that stand out to you or have a special, that you like, and see, just chat about them for a minute. So like the first one that jumps out to me,
Stand out by me.
Stand Out by Me. That's like my second one, but the first one for me is Princess Bride. Like I feel like we talk about this, like we probably quote this movie a little bit, but like especially in my house, this was a movie that my wife watched a lot growing up. My father-in-law loved this movie. And then like I've watched it a ton with my kids, and it's one of those movies that like has sort of that like offbeat, almost kind of like Monty Python-ish humor at times. Which like as a kid you can watch this movie and you're just like, yeah, it's like a fairy tale type movie, and the grandpa's reading to the kid, and it's like funny, but as you grow up with it, and then as an adult rewatching it, you're like, oh, there's parts of this movie that are way funnier than I thought they were when I was a kid. And it's one of those.
Like what?
I think it's more of like the subtle, like tongue in cheek type humor. Like I don't know, like as a kid, you're like, oh, it's like a giant and he says peanut, and like that's funny, haha, or like some physical humor. But I don't know, I forget the guy's name. Is it Facili? What's the
Fezziwick?
Fezzi? I'm looking up the cast right
You talking about Andre the Giant?
Vizini, played by Wallace Shawn.
Oh yeah. Wallace Shawn.
Yeah, and just sort of that back and forth with him and the Dread Pirate Roberts. Never get into a battle of wits when death is on the line or whatever. I don't know. Just the movie makes me laugh. I enjoy it. I still like it. So
Yeah, never seen it. What's it about? just kidding. No, yeah. Like that's a really good one. A lot of people love it. It is a good
you
movie.
hate it. Tell me right now that you hate Princess Bride.
No, I'm not going to tell you that because that would be a lie. It's got Peter Falk in it, who his greatest role since Columbo.
Yeah.
Also his greatest role since he played basically a Cuban dictator in the Twilight Zone. One of the early episodes, he played basically like a Castro corollary, but whatever. That's not the point. Peter Falk.
The great Mandy Patinkin is in it. As Inigo Montoya. Highly quotable line.
Carrie Elwes.
Yeah.
It's also got Christopher Guest in it, who you might know from a little film called Spinal Tap or Waiting for Guffman.
Yeah, he's in like some of my favorite movies. Dog Show.
Yeah. Dog Show. Yeah.
Or Best in Show. Best in Show. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I was thinking the SNL sketch.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting because Christopher Guest went from this is Spinal Tap to doing all of these like mockumentaries that really Rob Reiner kind of established there.
Right.
Yeah. So, what other movies? The second one you said was Stand By Me.
Stand By Me.
I'm not gonna lie. I have not seen Stand By Me.
What?
Yeah, this
is
not.
Is this like a standing on principles type thing? Is this what? How have you not seen Stand By Me?
I don't know. Actually, I'm not opposed to watching it. I know what the story is, aka The Body, which was written by Stephen King originally.
Yeah.
In his collection of stories, Four Seasons, which also includes, I think, is Rita Hayworth in there, and an apt pupil, I think, is part of that as well. But so I know the story. I know like everything behind it. It's not a lack of wanting to see it. It's just a lack of motivation to like find it and then watch it.
Like I have it on DVD. I'll mail you the DVD. You can rip it to your Plex server.
I don't do that. I have to own the DVD to feel comfortable.
Well, I'll mail it to you, and then you'll own it. Then you'll own it if I mail it to you.
Okay, yeah.
And then you just give me the link to your server.
Yeah. So you can watch it, and only you.
Only me. And our Patreons at patreon.com. That's not true. That's not for legal reasons. That's a joke. But yeah, no. Stand By Me, his third film, in 1986, based on a Stephen King novel, right, or short story, which is why I assumed you had like definitely seen this. But yeah, I had no idea that it was based on Stephen King's work until much later in life. I watched this as a kid. What always stood out to me in my mind is there's a scene in the movie where like it's four kids that it's like takes place in like the 1950s or something. They're walking down the railroad tracks to go see a dead body, and it's a coming of age type story. But overnight they like have like a campfire, and they're telling a story about like this state fair or something, and it's a pie eating contest, and about this like really big kid that's gonna eat like the most pie, and he gets so full that he starts puking, and then like everybody else sees him puking, so they start puking, and then there's just like puke apocalypse, like, and that scene stuck with me as a kid for a while because that was a lot of vomit.
Yeah,
That
and
I might
you did.
attribute most of my youth of hating vomit to this film.
I,
Could
I
be.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna attribute your disdain for pies on the film.
I didn't eat a ton of pie either, if we're being honest.
Well, I'm
Could
glad we
be,
are.
could be.
Yeah.
Well, usually we lie a
Uh,
lot, but
what the this Stand By Me. I wanted to say The Stand, but that's not Rob Reiner, although it is Stephen King.
yeah,
What Stand By Me, aka The Body in the novella form, uh, it's a Stephen King story that is not like a horror film. It's
yeah,
not a horror
yeah.
story. Just like Shawshank Redemption is not a horror story. But it's a good one.
Dang,
He has a
some
couple.
movies I really like are from Stephen King source material.
Yeah,
This guy, he's
yeah, yeah.
is he a well known author? He seems like
I
he's
don't
all right.
never heard of him. The Running Man in theaters everywhere. Uh, so let's talk. But talking about Rob Reiner, right? Let's talk about another Stephen King movie that he has, which is one of mine, which is Misery,
I thought you were
featuring.
gonna jump right to When Harry Met Sally, but okay, Misery. Let's do that
No, well, that is the fourth Stephen King story.
one. I'll have what
Yeah,
she's having.
James Caan and Dolores Claiborne, Kathy Bates, in a really good story. Stephen King, he writes stories about kids that like team up together, like in Dreamcatcher or It or Stand By Me, or he writes stories about writers such as The Shining and this Misery, um, and where he gets into an accident. A super fan is basically, she's making him feel better, but then she keeps him because he's planning on killing his most famous character, and she is not a fan of that. So she has him rewrite it, and then he tries to escape a couple of times, and then she hobbles the fuck out of him with a sledgehammer. Ah, such a painful scene. But Rob Reiner did some interesting things in that movie with uh, James Caan didn't like to rehearse, and Kathy Bates did like to rehearse, and so Rob Reiner let leaned into that. It was like, you use that and get mad at him about what you want to do and what he doesn't want to do. And so like that was one of the keys of that movie. A really really good movie. Put Kathy Bates on the map.
On the map.
Fried green tomato. Fried green tomatoes.
Fried green tomatoes. Um, it's funny. Like that's something I heard in that news story today too. Is just like so many of the performances in Rob Reiner's films, like the emotion is very authentic. Like the performances are very authentic. The characters for the most part are like really relatable.
Mhm.
And like when you look through just like the very diverse list of films that he's worked on, mostly as a director, but also as a producer and sometimes as a writer. Like it's all over the place, but like a lot of them are still like well regarded as great films in their genres. Like
Mhm.
Misery, like you said, like a horror genre, like it's a classic. People talk about it for decades. Stand By Me, like, but then you have like Spinal Tap, like a mockumentary that's like, completely something different. A Few Good Men, like a
Oh yeah. Yeah.
military courtroom drama type movie with like performances from Jack Nicholson and
You can't handle the truth, Travis.
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, I mean that's I don't know if I ever watched that all the way through. I've just seen like clips from it so many times, but um
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean that's the thing about that is, like stand. We keep going to Stand By Me, but like like a lot of the moments from those his movies, right?
Yeah.
Like when Harry Met Sally, I've not seen that movie, but I know scenes from that movie, right? One of the things that was interesting interested to hear about was like or read about was in one of the scenes when Harry met Sally, when they're all talking to each other on the phone in the bedroom, and like like most films, you would just like film all those things separately in like different areas,
Yeah.
right? And just different scenes and different shots. But it was actually just like all basically everyone in like different rooms, like on actual telephones talking to each other. And I thought that was really, really interesting. Um, what else? So what else did he direct, Travis?
Well, shoot. We'll run down the list. Did a film called North, in
Mhm.
'94. American President, with Michael Douglas. Ghost of Mississippi.
Oh
The
yeah.
Story of Us. Some rom coms. Some, Alex and Emma. Rumor has it, The Bucket List. Another Jack Nicholson, Morgan Freeman movie. Everybody talks about bucket
Oh
lists,
yeah.
right?
They do.
Um,
They really do. And so it goes. That's a good one.
uh,
Albert Brooks. He directed the Albert Brooks documentary.
that's right. That's right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then his
So
last movie, I mean, God and Country, he did not direct, but he's a producer on. And then Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, that just came out, I mean, a few months ago.
yeah,
So yeah, still
and it's
very
on HBO
active.
Max. Really.
It is on Max, as I stated at the beginning of this. Um,
Everywhere.
yeah, he was not just a director; he also starred in a lot of things or acted in a lot of things. Um, one of the one of the things that he was recently in that like my family rewatches a lot, in the uh, early 2010s, mid 2010s, the show New Girl. He's the main
Mm.
character, Jess's dad. So like that, when this news came out, my daughter watches New Girl all the time, and like that was who she immediately. She's like, it's Jess's dad. Like so,
Mm.
and I mean was acting or appearing in things. I mean up until this last year. So like he did like 5 episodes or 3 episodes of The Bear. So
Oh,
yeah,
he was in the Bear. That's where I've seen him before.
that was it. It was you were like it's either The Bear or All in the Family. Those are the two
Yeah, yeah.
the two things I was thinking of. Yeah.
He was in the Steve Allen Comedy Hour, Smothers Brothers show way back in the day. Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour. Because his dad, Carl Reiner,
That's right.
was huge comedy legacy with Mel Brooks.
He was a
He's in all.
co-creator of the Dick Van Dyke Show, I believe. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So there you
So just a lasting legacy sucks. It's too bad. I caught the news, and it was weird how the news like came up with it or announced it. Like the article I saw was like man and woman found at Rob Reiner's house dead. These ages, and it was like,
it was weird. It was weird because like when I left the house this morning, they were like, "Well, they were found dead. Uh, no like description of like what happened or why they were dead. Like, but like they
it was like,
were
and it didn't say,
investigating it, but yeah, and then
yeah,
like by midday they were like, well, the son has been arrested, but they're not saying what for. And then it's like, oh, it was for homicide. And then like little by little throughout the day, more details have kind of been
was
shared.
that yesterday or today for you?
It was the first I heard about it was this morning when I like
Oh,
left my house at like 6 in the morning.
yeah, Chelsea and I we heard it last night, and it was like weird because it said like a man 86 or whatever, woman such and such an age found dead at Rob Reiner's house, right? And it's like it was like okay, so is it them or is it not them?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is like two other random old people that might be the same age as them, and that right. And it's like, why would you report it like that? And
Yeah.
then
Kind of
on
cryptic.
on X, I saw right away that they're like, yeah, they treated as homicide. And last I knew last night that it was murder by his son. And
That's
so it was
well,
like,
but like your last night and my this morning are pretty much the same because of time zones and the
oh, okay,
curvature of the Earth. Like
sure, yeah,
it's probably pretty
yeah,
much the same. Uh, yeah,
yeah,
the
that's true, that's
difference
true,
in yeah.
yeah.
Like what day is it there?
It's December 1st. We
Oh,
just started.
jeez.
Yeah,
Well, I can't wait to tell you about what's happened in the next 2 weeks. Uh, all right. Well, yeah. Like again, terrible. Like it's beyond Hollywood. Also, like a huge political activist, and just just seemed like a really great guy. Like I don't know, seemed really passionate about um, you know, people and anyway, it's a bummer. But with this, we're gonna spend our whole time this whole
no,
episode, talking about that. But yeah, if you have a favorite, memory from like a Rob Reiner movie or something like that, yeah, let us know. Share it in the comments,
yeah.
or you can shoot us a message on all our socials. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. And so this is what when we say, shout out to you, Rob Reiner. Shout out to you. I always give shout out to the dead people. It's something I
Is
like.
that how you is that a customary grieving process? Shout out.
Yeah, I started it during rounding the bases
Oh,
on on on
really?
ac- on
Like
on
that's a thing you've
accident.
done before on other podcasts?
Yeah, it was an accident because somebody died, passed away, and like I interrupted Matt and Robbie, and I was like, "Hey, real quick, shout out to this person who's dead." And like, you don't shout out dead people. That's not the right thing. Like, well, like, yeah, you're right, but I mean, I'm celebrating them, so shout out to them and
Shout
their
out.
leg.
Shout it out. Shout. Shout.
What about?
Um. Well, what else is going on? How was your weekend? What else you been up to this week? Again, gearing up for the holidays. Have you
Right?
completed all of your shopping, for this consumer holiday?
Yeah, for the most part. Things are pretty good. I went to see, I don't know if you know this band. It's a punk band, the Bouncing Souls. I went and saw them on Friday of last week. This
Yeah, I don't
this
know.
Friday I'm gonna go see the Vandals. They
Heard of
every
them.
they have a Christmas album, and every year they do their Christmas album and do around Christmas time. I went last year; it was really fun, and so I'm gonna go again this year with my friend Justin. So that's this Friday. Um, let's see. As far as presents, got that knocked out. Good to go.
Yep.
Um,
Everything
let's
made out of
see.
popsicle sticks.
That's right. That's
Yep.
right. I was feeling a little sick this last weekend, and I say sick, but I didn't know if it was stress, or exhaustion, or the stomach flu that is famously going around California. I don't think it was the stomach flu, um, but like I was like Friday really really tired. I'm like, I'm not going to work today. I want to sleep longer, and ended up sleeping till like 11.
Ooh.
Woke up, did some work.
Uncharacteristic, fair listener.
Mm-mm.
He's not the type to sleep in
I
all
don't
day.
I don't like sleeping in all day. Um, and then Saturday and Sunday, like I slept. This is weird. You're gonna be weirded out. I slept in my actual bed and not the couch. I'm like, I want to get some good rest. I slept in my
I
actual
I
bed.
do kind of find it weird in general that you don't sleep in your bed normally. Like,
Mm, I sleep anywhere that I'm comfortable sleeping, and it just happens to be more often than not like in front of the TV in the living room, where I'm playing a game, and I'm just gonna close my eyes for a second,
and then you
and then
wake up the next day and you
then I'm like,
function that way on a regular basis. I,
yeah, the bedroom is so far away, And I'm like, I'm already sleeping. Why would I get up? Why would I wake myself up so I could go sleep in a different room and potentially bother Chelsea and like wake her up and like, oh, then the dog's gonna move around. I'm like, it's just if I fall asleep there, it's just easier for me to do that without interrupting or you know disrupting anybody's
We're so
precious
different
slumber.
in that way. It's like getting towards 10 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, time to go and perform like a nightly ritual of all of the like setting up my coffee pot, building like putting my gym bag together, getting everything for like making sure my stuff's like go brush my teeth, wash my hand, or like go to the bathroom, all the like, and then it's like, all right, good night, everyone, farewell until tomorrow, and then like go to my bed and like, and then doom scroll for like 30 minutes, and then
Yeah.
pass, and then turn the phone, put the phone on the charger, turn it on to NPR,
Mhm.
and set a sleep timer, and then fall asleep to somebody saying live from NPR News. This is guy.
This is
I can
Lock Me
never remember
Schmink.
their names. Lockmead Sheed or something. Lockmead something.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
Chelsea, she goes to sleep every night watching Futurama. That's her thing.
Okay.
And so if I go into the bedroom and she's lying there and
And you go
Futurama's
whoop,
on,
whoop, 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 whoop.
oh, Chelsea, how are you doing? I I sneak over to her side of the bed. I grab the controller. I get into bed and I
Punch her in
turn
the
off
face.
Futurama. I have sex with her, and then and when she wakes up, she's like, "What's going on?" Um, I I I turn off Futurama. Going back to the serious part, I turn off Futurama. I go to Peacock and I put on Columbo. and, uh,
That
and so,
okay. This explains the
yep.
issue. Is she's a Futurama sleeper? You're a Columbo sleeper. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't have both.
You, you can't mix and match a Columbo and Futurama. You got one or the other. One or the other.
I
Um,
guess you got it all figured out, Philip J. Fry. Except for one
ah,
thing.
one more thing, Philip Fry. Um, so yeah, I got extra sleep this weekend, and it felt pretty good. Felt pretty
That's good.
good.
It's good. Well
Uh,
rested. Well
yeah,
rested.
yeah. I think I needed that. And Chelsea tells me all the time, take care of yourself, Brandon. I don't want you to get pneumonia again. So I try to take care of myself
Yeah,
this
you
last.
should take care of yourself, Brandon. I keep telling
Mm-hmm.
Sheena to take care of herself. And she's like, I'm too
Does
busy
she?
taking care of everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
me and Sheena are alike that way.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a long standing lore in our friendship that you and Sheena are more alike than me and you in a lot of ways. That's why we all get along so well. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I played a couple of things I want to talk about real quick.
Okay.
I the season finale of It Welcome to Derry premiered this weekend,
That's right.
which I know you're going to watch. I watched It Chapter 1 just to get spun up on, and it was good. It was a really good finale. It was really we won't talk too much about this. All I'm going to say is when it was announced that It Welcome to Derry was going to come out like a prequel series, I was like, "No, this is not something I need or I want." And I think we talked about this a little bit. But in the end, the 8 episodes on HBO, it was really good. And for as a Stephen King fan to like expand on some of the lore that's behind Pennywise and getting into more of the things that the the other movies didn't explore much, like the kind of cosmic aspect of it and all that type of stuff. Really, really good. So just throwing it out there, if you are an It fan, I do recommend watching that series. Okay, moving on from that. I already kind of joked about
I have
the
nothing to
Terminator.
contribute to that topic whatsoever.
I already kind of joked about the Terminator 2 Arnold Schwarzenegger T800 Model T8. Um, uh, there's a game that just came out. It's called Terminator 2 No Fate. And what it is it's like very much a game that is in the vein of classic arcade games.
Okay.
Like it's kind of it's a side scroller. It's 2D. Um, and it takes place over the events of Terminator 2, with some
Hmm.
extra levels chalked up in there in between. It's a quick game. I beat it a handful of times already. There are unlockables. What's cool about it is there are different paths you can actually take, so you can change the future. Um, One example of this is it's not a spoiler, but if you've seen Terminator 2, like especially the special edition, the Sarah Connor, John Connor, Terminator in the garage, and they're like looking at like the chip in his brain, right? And it's like, oh, it's set to read right. And they're like, why? What happens if we switch this off? He's like, oh, I can make my own decisions. So like one of the choices you can make in the game is to let him to keep it read right, or have it make his own decisions. So if you do that, it changes some of the paths of the game to kind of explore an alternate reality of what would happen in Terminator 2.
That's
So
pretty cool, actually. Um, I mean, like as you're initially describing the game, I'm like, okay, yeah, like take a very popular, well-known movie franchise, like classic film, remake it as a 2D side scroller action type game. Like, yeah, that's seems pretty straightforward. You don't have to come up with a lot of like new story elements. But then for you to say like, oh yeah, no, they change story elements and can completely redirect like the path of the game. I think that's really interesting and a cool
yeah,
way to kind of explore other options within that universe. So yeah, it's neat.
yeah. What I'd say is for children of the 80s and early 90s of like that Sega Genesis, Super NES type type feel, like this is the game that I would have wanted back then.
Yeah.
Not a shitty port of Terminator 2. Like this is what I would have wanted back then. So,
All right.
um, yeah.
Where
So
where
shout
can
shout
people find the game? I'm guessing Xbox Game Pass.
it's on my Xbox. Patrons just go to
Just your Xbox. It's just on your
yeah,
Xbox. Like people
it,
just come over to Brandon's house. You can play it.
uh
Um,
yeah,
on his on his.
and on my Plex. Patreon.com/ Brandon's Plex and Xbox Plexbox. No, yeah, it's on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, Steam. You can find it anywhere. Um,
Have we ever talked about the video garage on this podcast?
I don't know if
Um,
we have.
are you familiar with? Have you ever seen the video garage in any of your scrollings?
I don't think I have. And we share a YouTube, so I'm surprised we haven't.
Okay, so Matt McCarthy. Are you familiar with this name
Okay.
at all? He's LA
Is he
native.
like the
He might be your neighbor.
is he the one who did like the Hollywood 10 and like the blacklisting of Hollywood back in the 50s?
No,
McCarthyism.
not
They used to
McCarthyism.
call
Matthew McCarthy is he is a comedian. He hosted like a movie show, I think, on like A&E, like probably in like the 90s or something.
I
Um,
I I know him. He was
he
in Mannequin
uh
and Weekend at
yeah,
Bernie's.
maybe is it that guy?
No,
Oh, okay.
that doesn't look like Bernie at all.
Anyway, so he is a VHS tape enthusiast, right?
Okay.
His garage is full of old VHS tapes. And he entered into my algorithm at a time when he was just remember like the old like drawers of VHS tapes where it was like a fake wood front and you like just pull it out and there'd be like 8 tapes in a
Yeah.
drawer and they're stackable.
Yeah.
He's just got stacks of these things in his garage and people would just shout out a number and then he would count out to that tape and then he would just put the tape in. And some of the tapes, a lot of the tapes are recordings off of television from like 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, right? Some of it is like family home movies and like just really random stuff, but a lot of it is vintage television. And so he will share on his socials like watching these tapes, and he'll show clips from certain shows, but obviously for copyright reasons on socials, like you can't show certain music or certain like too much of a certain show. But the commercials are like fair game. So he shows a lot of vintage commercials on there, which is like just nostalgia right to the heart, like watching old commercials from when we were kids. So he does have a Patreon. It's called the Video Garage, where if you join his Patreon, you get access, because he's digitized all these tapes, you get access to full unedited videotapes. And I'm really close to like, I think I'm gonna throw this guy some money just so I can go watch like old 80s television from when I was a child and just like relive some of this stuff that but yeah, it just cracks me up, like some of the stuff he has on there. He tends to do like 12 tapes of Christmas around the holidays, where he grabs tapes that are dated like mid-December from different years and stuff, and then he's like, all right, are we gonna get the Hershey's Kiss Bells commercial? Are we gonna get the M&Ms? They do exist, like
the polar bears with the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, Coca-Cola polar bears. The kid that's inside the snowman that melts with the Campbell's soup. Like all these old classic. He's so, and then he always has one where he talks about like a grandma feeding Cheerios to a kid, and like that one doesn't resonate with me. I don't feel like I ever saw. Anyway, he's also a big wrestling fan. So Bob, you probably already know who he is. But I tend to skip those ones. I skip.
He probably cried. He probably cried when John Cena retired.
Bob was there, right?
Don't give a fuck.
It's crazy. The life that Bob Carroll leads, man. He's beating me right now. He's gonna eliminate me from the playoffs in our fantasy league.
It's a kickers league, Travis.
It is a kickers league. The only active player in our game is a kicker. He's kicked 2 field goals. That's it so far. But we'll save that for Swifflecast. Oh, no, not even 2 field goals, 2 extra points. He's now kicked 3 extra points, so I'm up to 3 points. I needed like 20, to move on in the playoffs. But anyway, I guess I'll have the same fate as the Kansas City Chiefs when it comes to my playoff hopes. What else is going on?
Dolphins lost. That's good.
Sorry,
when you triggered that, I was like, oh, okay, let's see.
See how your Finns are doing?
Yeah,
they're losing.
They're losing 21-3. I saw somebody post on Reddit, taunting while down 21-3.
That's the Miami way.
Somebody got a taunting.
I wanna. If you'll humor me for a moment.
Sure.
I want to jump into
distract me from the Dolphins.
Travis's Lorcana minute.
Oh yes. No, please. Yeah, I did mean to talk about this. So let me preface this, everybody, with, look, the Dolphins are losing, and our slim chance of making the playoffs is now, like, our 1% chance of making the playoffs is now 0% chance. But although I'm sad about that, I'm also really sad about Travis's experience here in Lorcana this last weekend. He was torn up, everybody. And Travis, I want you to talk to us about it.
Okay, so if you've been a long time listener to the show, you know that I love Disney Lorcana. This is a trading card game. This summer, the game experienced its first set rotation. That means that the first 4 sets of Disney Lorcana were rotated out of competitive play. You can no longer play with any of those cards in competitive Lorcana. But with that, they also introduced a new format called Infinity Format, which is a format where you can play with all of your cards from any set, build a deck with anything from set 1 through set 10, doesn't matter. But it's not popular. Like, Infinity format is not popular. Most people still stick to the core constructed competitive format. But this last weekend, they did an event at local game stores across the country. I don't know, maybe around the world. I don't know how far this went. Where they were sending out whole new world promo cards. So these are some full art, alternate art of a set 1 card called the Whole New World. This is a card that if you played it, you and your opponent discard your hand and draw 7 new cards. It was a really powerful and useful card very early in Lorcana, and you could only get these cards by going and playing in one of those Infinity tournaments. So my son and I, we went and played on Saturday. I built a deck with a bunch of old cards that I played a ton of in the early sets of Lorcana that I like.
Yeah.
I love these cards. I love playing them. Like, they were like staple cards for me, and so many of them got rotated out during rotation. And like, obviously I moved on, picked new cards, played a different type of deck, but it was really fun to kind of put this deck together. And even for just a weekend, like, replaying some of these lines and some of these combos and things that you could do with the deck. And
This doesn't sound like a sad story at all.
Yeah, no, I had a great weekend. I had a lot of fun. On Saturday, it was a pretty small turnout. Caleb and I, my son, we ended up being like the top 2 players, and he just beat the crap out of me on Saturday and ended up winning that tournament. Kudos to him. He built a very aggressive deck that just won on like turn 4, and there was like nothing I could do about it. Sunday rolls around.
Is that the sad part? Your son beat you?
No, I was happy for him. I was excited for him that he played well, and we had fun.
Yeah.
And typically I don't. I'm used to losing. As we've stated, I'm a Chargers fan. Like, I'm used to disappointment. But what I don't like is making mistakes. If somebody beats me, fine, you beat me. That's you played better. You had the right cards you needed at the time, but like, I did my best, and it didn't work out. That's fine. On Sunday, I won my first round. I won my second round. Mind you, both the people I played were like under the age of 16, so like, they weren't super difficult matches. But then I was playing against another undefeated player in the 3rd and final round. Winner between the 2 of us, likely to get first place in the tournament with the best prizing or whatever and stuff like that. And again, the prizing wasn't like anything crazy. Okay. He wins the first game pretty quickly. I was like, oh, he's playing something a little bit different. He's playing like location cards, which aren't as popular. Second game, I adjust my strategy. I hold on to certain cards that I wouldn't necessarily hold on to in other matchups. I win the second game, good to go. Third game, a little bit of a grind, back and forth. Winner of this game is going to take it all. He gets a couple locations out, a couple characters. He's questing. He's getting close to the points he needs to win. And I have a couple characters that can really swing the board in my favor. And if I don't play this turn correctly, my opponent is going to win on the next turn. And what I needed to do is I needed to challenge one of his locations, get rid of it, and exert a character so that I could play an action, ready that character, and hit him again. I didn't do that. I just played the action right away, pretty much taking the effectiveness away from it and taking away like giving him the win, right? In that case. Now, there are rules in Lorcana that have been stated where like you can have take backs. You can say, "Hey, I messed up. I didn't mean to do that. Can I take that back?" And you can ask for it. Your opponent doesn't have to let you do it, but like judges are encouraged to allow it to happen if like certain information isn't revealed or things like that. But for me, I don't want to like do that. I played it incorrectly. I wasn't patient. I didn't think it through correctly. And like for me, I'm like that's a learning experience. But boy did it sting when we looked at what the
Mm,
next few cards on the top of our decks were and I kind of thought through things in my head and I was like, yeah, I definitely could have stopped you from winning on that turn if I'd played it correctly and had the cards to be able to basically win on the next turn, or at least in the next couple turns once I'd slowed him down. So, yeah, that stung. That stuck with me pretty much until I left the store, and then for hours later. In fact, like several hours later, you texted me, and I was still thinking about it because when you were talking
yeah.
about Patrick Mahomes' blown ACL, I was like, you want to talk about blowing things? Let me tell you about my card game. But anyway, like that's going into like the end of December, early January. That's where I'm going to this really big tournament. Like thinking about it in retrospect, I'm glad it happened. Like I'm glad I made that mistake in a situation where relatively low stakes, like it was a competitive environment, but not like the peak of competition. So it was a moment for me to be like, you know what, I messed up. I played this wrong. It's not a deck I was used to playing. It was something I had just built a few days prior, right? And I'm not playing with a lot of these cards because they've been rotated out. But
Hmm.
it did give me perspective that like, all right, take my time, think through my entire turn. I'm not in a rush. There's not like I was up against the clock and had to win in the next like few minutes or something like that. So I'm trying to spin it to the positive. This is a learn from
Yeah.
your mistakes situation. So yeah.
That's good. I'm proud of you, man. I know it's a hard lesson to learn that you should just be patient and think about the things before you do them. I've had I've been there. I've been there, done that. Not with Lorcana, but with like Madden and NCAA and work.
Riftbound. Oh wait,
Uh,
no, you still haven't played that either.
no, it's right around here somewhere. I'll figure it out eventually. I meant to go to the store actually and buy you a pack, but I didn't. So
Oh,
fuck it.
thanks.
Uh,
Merry Christmas. I'll send you money. Just get, I can't
yeah,
find those cards anywhere here, dude.
I will. I'll go check it out this week. But anyway, yeah, no, it's a good lesson to learn, man. And I
I'm
know
not hurting for promos, by the way. I'm doing just fine. So yeah.
I know it hurts. I know it stings, Travis. But you're gonna come out of this a much better competitor.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
And I think that filled up enough time for us to. I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about? Pop music.
Um. We'll probably record
How
one
was
more
your
episode.
Spotify Wrapped?
Oh, we didn't talk about Spotify Wrapped. Um. I listen to a lot of Viagra Boys. They're.
Oh,
Uh,
was that your top artist of the year?
I think it might have been. Yeah. Yeah. Last year's Block Party. This one was Viagra Boys.
You don't share your Spotify account with anybody, right?
Uh, I I have Spotify Family, so they have their own little
I do
accounts.
too. That doesn't stop my family from using my Spotify account. Here's the thing. All of the Amazon devices in my house are tied to my specific Spotify.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
So anytime somebody says, "Hey, play such and such," it's counting towards my Wrapped.
That's why I am constantly just playing my Spotify on my phone, no matter where it's at, for my playlist, just so I can be like, no, you are playing what I want to play.
You just
Just
have the volume at like the lowest, but you're just like constantly playing Spotify to sway your. I I don't remember what song it was, but I saw a video that some girl, oh, she got her Spotify Wrapped, and her top song was "I Like Big Butts and I Cannot Lie." top artist, and she was like, something is wrong. Like my Spotify, like something is wrong with my Wrapped. Turns out her boyfriend, anytime her phone was unattended all year long, he would just play that song on her Spotify to mess with her so that her Wrapped would be all thrown off. Which I gotta respect a long con. Like the commitment, it's that's how you show people you really care. Like
That's right.
Like putting in the effort. So, yeah. So my
That's
top
like,
artist was Taylor Swift. Don't worry about it. It's
Okay.
it's probably because of my kids.
Well, it's like a Scary Terry doing a snake jazz for Ryan Elder.
I do want to short somebody out. This isn't interdimensional RSS, so like they're probably not going to hear this, right? But we did get a information from somebody. I'm trying to find it. Was it in? I think it was a comment or maybe a message. Somebody let us know that we were their top podcast on their Spotify Wrapped. I think like interdimensional RSS was their top top podcast.
Oh,
So
hot diggity shit.
Like Spotify didn't reach out to us and ask for a personalized video for their Wrapped. Spotify hit us up. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Thomas sent us a message recently. That's interesting.
Yeah. So there's damn it. I need to see if I can hit that up. There's a sandwich place out here that is like a Rick and Morty themed. They got Rick and Morty themed sandwiches right now.
Oh,
I gotta
really?
go do that. Yeah, I gotta do that. I forgot all about it until you reminded me.
Okay.
I mean, you didn't remind me.
I just looked at a.
Yeah, when you said Thomas, so I guess you did remind you did remind me.
I did. Anyway, we should really follow up on our socials. And with that, send us a comment. Let us know so that we can ignore it for a week. No, we have one more episode before Christmas. I'm sure we'll chat about something fun next week.
Yeah.
I'll ignore the family that's in town and or we'll record early. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Figure something out.
And check out Our Real Relationships. We're talking about Christmas movies this month in December. We talked about Die Hard, which is a Christmas movie.
Indisputably.
And we just watched Scrooged last night, so we're going to talk about that this week. And then we're going to top it off with another Christmas movie, Violent Night, which is basically the Die Hard of the Santa movies of it's Die Hard with Santa instead.
Okay. So not Muppet Christmas Carol.
No, not this year. Not this year. There's so many Christmas movies to choose from.
There are a lot.
That's a movie that, like I talked to Chelsea about this. It's called Our Real Relationships, and we talk a lot about everything but our relationship with the movie. So I want to get back into that and actually getting like people on there so we can talk about that aspect of it.
That is very fair. All right. Well, yeah, check those out. Still in video format on YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I remember. Yep.
When he remembers.
There's a playlist. There's a playlist out there for it, so you can check that out there over on youtube.com/Apathetic Enthusiasm. Look for the Our Real Relationships playlist, or go to spotify.com/ that thing I just said.
Yeah, make it part of your Wrapped for 2026. All right, we're gonna go and record what is likely to be the last Swiffle podcast where either of us have any chance of winning, because we are in playoffs and I'm about to be eliminated. Brandon already was. Don't worry about it. He still made a waiver move even though it's against the rules. He's learning.
We'll talk about that. We will talk about that before. We'll talk about that during the episode.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Because I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that specifically.
Thank you all so much for listening to this. Like, subscribe, do all the things. If you're on YouTube, you can rate and review 5 stars over on your podcatcher of choice. And until next time, I'm Travis.
And I'm Brandon. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Goodbye.